What's up, guys and gals, people of the page, fellow riders, fellow free spirits? What's happening, everybody? Welcome to another ride, baby. Another day, another dollar, another edition of Ride and Shine. Another word of advice from Antonio, your designated driver of the YouTube airwaves for the next couple of minutes, where I'll be discussing everything Grubhub related, guys. Man, beautiful day today. Had to get out. It's going to be one of the last warm, semi-warm days of the week. It's going to get cold this week, and I wanted to take this day out for me, for myself. So I took the entire afternoon off. I did not do any lunch rush today. I will be doing some dinner rush later. But it was absolutely gorgeous. It was beautiful today. I had to get out, get my exercise in. Because, you know, this job, man, we're sitting on our butts all day. Calories are accumulating in the reserve tank. You know what I'm saying, guys? The coffee helps, too. This fine Dunkin' Donuts coffee. The best coffee in the world, in my opinion. And no, this channel is not sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. But I just want to say that this coffee is delicious, man. Oh, something about the Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It tastes like chocolate. That roast. It's absolutely delicious. I love it. And yeah, this stuff helps lose weight. Believe it or not, it encourages digestion because it's very acidic. Coffee is very acidic, and it also has high fiber content, which speeds up the metabolism. And so I'm drinking coffee again. I went 12 years without it, but I'm back on it, baby, because, you know, when you're driving every day too, it really helps you keep you alert, focused, which is very much required in this business, man, especially if you're on the road as much as I am, as much as 6 hours a day. That's working 6 hours a day, not counting, you know, all the other stuff, driving home and stuff. I'm on the road sometimes 7 hours a day driving. Yeah, the old Salvatore here, this car, man, pushing 220,000 miles now. I call this car Salvatore because Salvatore means savior in Italian. And this car, man, let me tell you, I only put $1,000 into it in the 7 years that I owned it. That's it. I changed the catalytic converter because it wouldn't pass inspection. This was like 2-3 years ago or so, and it needed it because of the inspection. Otherwise, the car rides fine. Everything just rides fine, thank goodness. Knock on wood, knock on wood. Good old Salvatore. Coming through, baby, coming through for me. Anyways, guys, let's talk a little bit about Grubhub and the whole Premier thing. If you've been watching previous videos, you'll see and hear that I have been very much an advocate for the Premier driving level, whereas the general consensus on YouTube is not. Now, I am looking out for everybody, man. I'm not just trying to be different. I ain't trying to be rebellious, though. I'm a bit of a rebel, I admit. I like to, I'm an outside the box type of dude, but I'm doing this because I'm looking out for y'all, man. I want to make sure everybody's prospering. You know what I mean? So let's talk about it. And let's not talk about the money in this video. I am not going to mention anything about the higher payout. I did that in a previous video. I averaged $3 more an hour as a Premier driver as opposed to Pro and Partner. That $3 an hour equates to, I don't know, 20 bucks or so a day, more or less, give or take, on average. And do the math, guys. What would that equate to per week and per month? Can you make $500 extra a month as a Premier driver? I am about to find out, folks. But I'm only a week into this trial, so stay tuned for more episodes on the channel we call Ride and Shine. But yeah, I don't want to talk about the money today. I want to talk about something I've noticed as a Premier driver. As you guys know, I am a Premier driver again. I lost my Premier level a couple of weeks ago, actually more than a month and a half ago. because of the Uber Eats. I did Uber Eats for like 6 weeks straight. Nothing but Uber Eats because of the boosts. Then Uber Eats started to slow down. Drivers came pouring in. And I went back to Grubhub, and only to find out that I lost my Premier status. Because as you guys know, you need to do it for at least a month, or you get your program level reset. So I went back to being a pro driver. And as a pro driver, man, let me tell you, I was just so confused why things weren't the way they used to be. Back when I was a Premier driver for Grubhub, I was a Premier driver for Grubhub for months, for like 4 months straight. I made pretty good money, and I stopped looking for jobs. I'm happy doing this full time. I am not married. I don't have a house. I rent. I don't have children. The money I make isn't the greatest money, but it's good enough for me. And I got old Salvatore here, which keeps me from, keeps the bills away. So, let me get back to what I was saying. I became a pro driver, or was it partner? I don't know. They reset me to partner or pro. And man, I noticed they kept sending me to apartment buildings, these rundown bagel stores in the seedy parts of town. And I'm like, whatever happened to, the hot spots? Like, I was always on the edge of the region and stuff. And yeah, I would get, they would send me to the hot spots now and then, but I was getting a lot of those restaurants that are probably very blacklisted from drivers due to their notorious reputation having to do with long wait times and, seedy parts of town. When you refuse calls with Grubhub, you can say why and say, I don't like the neighborhood. A lot of restaurants are probably blacklisted a lot, and Grubhub Dispatch takes note of this, and they give these calls to the partner drivers, and maybe pro too, and not just that, guys, but the apartment buildings. I was getting all these apartment building customers, and they were sending me to these places that I was never sent to as a Premier driver. Okay, and now that I'm a Premier driver again for now a week and a half, I'm not getting these apartment building calls. I'm just not. I'll get like one a week, maybe two, where as a partner driver and pro, I was getting like 2, 3 a day. And I'm beginning to wonder, does Grubhub try to treat their Premier drivers right, by giving them restaurants that not only pay high, customers' orders that not only pay high, but customers who live in areas where there's easier parking, no apartment buildings and whatnot. This is all speculation on my part, based on my experience in my market. All right, it's something I've just noticed. I'm a guy, I notice a lot of patterns. I'm a guy that notices things and patterns and stuff, and I realized that in all my months, in 2 months working as a pro driver, the experience has been vastly different than my experience as a Premier driver. Again, not just having to do with the amount of earnings I make and the increased amount of earnings I make. I have, over the past week, cataloged my earnings, and I have been making $18 an hour on average during the week, 6 days or so. But besides that, I wanted to also mention other things. So the apartment buildings and all that, I haven't had one apartment building call in the last 6 days, so ever since I got my Premier level back. Anyways, guys, who knows? You never know. Could be, could not be, maybe, possibly, plausible. But again, it's all speculation in the end, and based on our own experiences, the evidence is equivocal at best and not direct. So something to take into consideration, though, guys. I'm looking out for everybody. I encourage you guys to try Premier if you haven't. Take note of things. Again, it's all market dependent. If you live in a market with lots of cherry pickers, dispatch is going to count on you to bail them out and give you those low ball offers more often than not. And it's very unfortunate. And when I meet Grubhub drivers on the street, I ask them, are you a Premier driver? And many of them say yes. So my market is surprisingly full of Premier drivers. I meet a lot of drivers every day, and a lot of them tell me they're Premier. So maybe that's why I'm having a decent experience with the whole Premier thing. But there have been drivers that tell me that they're worked to death as Premier drivers, and that's unfortunate because it's not supposed to be that way. It says right on the app, guys. You know, Grubhub says it on the app. Higher payouts for Premier drivers, or more catering orders is what it says. Anyways, folks, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna caffeinate myself, take care of some errands. Got some chores to do before the dinner rush tonight. Hope you guys are having prosperous weekends. Had a prosperous weekend. Happy Blue Monday to everybody. Hope you guys are being productive, and of course remembering to stop every once in a while and smell those roses, because your body and your mind will thank you for it. Until next time, guys, keep riding, keep shining. Remember to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Be safe. And until next time, this is Antonio signing off.